Okay, hello. For those of you joining live or you're watching the replay, welcome. I'm Krystine, the Beauty Pro Coach, and I am going to be chatting with Rebecca Buttes. There she is. Hello. And she's going to be talking to us about insurance for us, for beauty pros. So I really want you to ask questions, comment your questions, send us a DM because it's going to be really interesting. I'm so excited. I am going to invite her right now. And oh my gosh, here we go. She's here. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
It's so good.
Yeah.
So us fabulous redheads, we're going to be chatting. I'm so excited.
I know, I love your hair. It's the best.
I love yours. Oh my God.
You. Thank you. I saw your video the other day. You were using Wella, and that's totally what we're representing here. So
Shinefinity, baby.
yes,
It's amazing.
beautiful.
Shine you can feel. Anyway. Okay, Rebecca, let's just jump into it. Health insurance for beauty pros.
Yes, absolutely.
What is it? Like what is it like we should be looking for? Because nobody talks about this ever. Like not at the hair shows, not, the magazines, not on social. So what do we need to be looking for, especially if we're booth renters, if we're looking for a salon to join? Like what are the key points?
Yes, I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about myself, just so you know.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, just really quick. I've been in the industry for 13 years, and so and I actually spent a year of that doing life insurance, and that's kind of what kind of triggered my brain to be like, there's something more. And I have a business degree. I went to college, and so those things, my brain is very businessy, right? And so when I started learning about life insurance, it wasn't the right timing in my life to do that. I love hair so much, so it's hard to, change and do something different, which I'm actually still behind the chair, also working part-time doing that. But I started learning that there was something missing. I was like, gosh, why have I never heard of this? Like, why have I not ever heard about life insurance? Nobody's ever talked to me about health insurance. Why? What's missing, And so now that I'm in the health insurance side, it's the same story, right? Like we don't get that information. So I feel like the biggest thing to know is that it's available, and it's easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to, most everybody walks into their new job after college or just going out and you have benefits, and unfortunately in our industry, I feel like it's extremely unheard of. Okay. I worked in all the salons I've worked at have been amazing. I love them tremendously. The one that had been the most established offered Aflac. Good. They offered something, but I still didn't even understand that. What's Aflac? I don't know, and I could have looked it up. I could have done my research, but really when you're just hustling, bustling, right? You're starting in the industry and you're trying to build your clientele. You're not thinking about that. You're not stopping to think about it unless somebody's kind of like, hey, you should think about this. Hey, by the way, and talking about that. So anyways, really, to keep it really simple, there's 3 ways that you can get insurance. You can have it through your employer, which PS, salon pros and salon business owners, you can offer it without contributing to it. I think that's something that's huge that I don't know if a lot of people know. You can offer private plans to your employees as a, commission salon, or if you have both, and just say, here, this is available to you if you want it. And that is huge. I feel like that would provide so much value if they just knew, if you just know, hey, you can offer this, you don't have to contribute. If you do, awesome. That provides a lot of value too. But if you don't, then it's an option. Same with, okay, so sorry, let me go back. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm just going with everything you're saying. I'm like, oh my God. Right. Okay, go ahead.
It makes sense, right? When you hear it, you're like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like that first time you learn how to curl your hair or blow dry your hair. Oh yeah, this makes sense. Like I've been wanting to know this my whole life. If you're like me anyway, and you want to,
yes.
hair since you were 2, you're like, hair school was just like, So, anyways, okay, employer coverage, right?
Okay.
We don't usually have that option. That's one option. Second option is marketplace, Obamacare, ACA. If you've heard any of those terms, that's the other main way to get health coverage. It's a great way. Depending, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because it totally depends on the person. Last way is through private plans, and you have a lot of options there too. You have some short-term plans and some. I'm not going to go into super detail, but there's private plans available too, and that's what I feel like booth runners and salon, owners need to know about, because it's a really great option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so private plans, is that similar to like if somebody like tell us what that is really, because is that something like, I have I'm in Florida, so we have Florida Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And so that's my health insurance. And, I go to the doctor and I only have to pay $5 or whatever that is. What is what you're saying? Is that similar or different or what?
Yeah. Private plan just means that you're not in an employee plan. Literally, it's not a major medical plan. So it's just a smaller plan. Usually it's more dependent based on your health. And the marketplace plans. So you get underwritten for a lot of private plans. There's some that you aren't underwritten as well. And then for marketplace plans, it's a lot of times more based on your income. If you have a lower income, then you get subsidies, and stuff for that, like that as well. So yeah, private plans can literally be, again, trying to keep it pretty broad and vague, but it just means that it's not your major medical plan that's an employer coverage. So you're going to find them under the same networks that you would probably see. And some are going to be a lot smaller too, but United Healthcare, Blue Cross, they all have, a lot of them do have private plans as well.
So what big advice would you give to, see, I'm focusing on salon owners and booth runners right now because they are kind of like the leaders with this. So what would you advise them to do? Like, when should they get insurance? Should they mention that when they're recruiting? Like, when do they start doing it? Because it's got to be easy for them too. If the employee decides to like deuces and like, then what happens?
Right. Absolutely. So that's kind of where it goes to where it might be the best option for, salon owners to say, look, here's, since there is, I feel like a lot of times in our industry, there's high turnover, right? And so you can say, I'm offering this to you so they can take it with them. So timing really doesn't matter. The nice thing about private plans, it matters, but the nice thing about private plans, you can sign up anytime. You don't have to, there's no window that you need. With marketplace, you have your enrollment period and you have to sign it. You have to typically sign up within that period unless you have a qualifying event that happens. And so timing really, again, that's why private plans are such a nice option, because they're easy, you don't have to, there's no certain time or anything. And so that's the nice thing about that. I don't know if that answered your question. I don't know. I don't know, but it sounded really good and I want to know more. Pretty much the idea is just talk to me. I think I have a link in my profile, and it's just like we book clients all day. It's the same idea. It's a Calendly, so it's not salon specific, obviously. Because again, everybody's different. And so, but the best, like I said, it is easy. It's like car insurance, right? There's not a specific time to get car insurance, but you gotta have car insurance. I don't I feel really unsafe driving around without car insurance. It's the same way with health insurance. Unfortunately, you're gonna pay premiums even if you're healthy. Here's my spiel, okay? 13 years, right? Until I never had health insurance. Thank you, Jesus, that nothing happened, right? I got lucky, okay? And I didn't pay any premiums, right? So it was good. But it's crazy because I actually, right when I moved, I changed salons. I don't know if you've ever heard of Lifetime Fitness, Lifetime Athletic. They have a salon and spa inside of there. It's a gym, amazing. It's corporate, right? And so you go in, it's most, commission and everything. They offer full benefits for stylists, for salon and spa people. To me, I was like, what? What is this life? And then I got pregnant. And then I had another baby. So I got pregnant twice. So guess what? My loyalty to that salon, I've never left, because for me, it meant so much to me that they took care of me in that way and they provided those benefits for me. Now, again, that's corporate, it's major medical. They were able to, it's huge. It's a huge organization. So, but the point of saying that is that, we're on our own. If you're on your own, you have to do it on your own. And so I want to be that person. I'm trying to, put myself in a place where I could be a person that you can go to, that salon and spa professionals know, hey, I know I don't have to wonder what to do. I have a girl I can call. She's my girl. This kind of nice thing about being, that having like a person like me, I'm a health advisor, is that I'm your advocate too. So you can be like, hey, do I need to go to the emergency room for this, or do I need to just go to an urgent care, right? Like, I will tell you, go to the urgent care because it'll cost less, right? Like, or whatever the case may be. So I'll Yeah,
Okay. And then you are nationwide, right?
yeah,
Like you will talk to anybody.
absolutely.
Okay.
Hmm.
So then what are maybe like the top maybe like the top three insurance companies that you can recommend to people watching? Or is it like state specific? It
It's
might be state.
totally state. Yeah. I
Okay.
wouldn't, yeah, that is totally different
Okay.
state to state. Yeah. But
Okay.
I will say that if you're going to look, I mean, once again, ask me and I'll help. But if
Yeah.
you're looking on your own, if you like travel a lot or, you know, if you don't want to be confined to one little location, then a PPO network, going a little bit in depth, is going to be a
Okay.
typically nationwide coverage. Now, that's not always,
Oh.
but that's generally going to be something that can travel with you, and you don't have to be confined to like one doctor, or if you don't have to get like a recommendation for a specialist, things like that. So PPO networks are going to be, in my opinion, the better
The
option.
better
Again,
option.
depending, it all depends, but
Yeah.
in general, you know, it's a pretty across the board. So
Okay. See, I always joke and
mm-hmm.
I'm always like, oh my God, you girls, you cannot cut your fingers. You need to
Right?
get health insurance on your hands. You gotta get health insurance on your legs. Like,
Yes,
like I always joke.
absolutely. Yeah, if you get, that's okay. The number one, no, seriously, no. Because how do you work? If we're not working, we're not making money, right?
Right.
It's like you don't have a car to drive. Like, you know, like I'm in a rental car right now because somebody hit my door. And thankfully, because of insurance, the other person thankfully had insurance, you know, I have a rental car, right? Same with health. Like you got to cover those things because of the in case. I mean, it might not ever happen, but what if it does? You know, because you're fine without it until you have something happen, and then you have something happen.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. What do I do
Yeah.
now? You know?
Okay. So why do you think the industry doesn't talk about this? Like, I kind of feel like we're like underground right now
Totally
talking
underground.
about this. And I'm like, I feel so rebellious, but I
Yeah.
feel so good. So why? What's the big thing?
I think that's a great question, and I've been trying to figure that out myself. And the conclusion
Okay.
that I came to,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just, again, business brain, right?
Okay.
Most people, and this, I want to be really careful because I'm never want to diss on anybody. Everybody has their own paths, right? But life tells you, go to college, get a degree, do this and that. Guess what? Hairstylists, we don't always do that, you know, because we already know we like hair. So just go to hair school. You don't need a college degree for that,
Yeah.
right? Like you can have fun and do your art, you know? And I feel like maybe, just maybe, that because of the way that most people get into that industry, then most stylists, I mean, how do you go to own a salon? I mean, not everybody, I guess, probably did hair first, obviously, but so, you know, mostly people who like hair start,
Right.
And so that education, I think, just isn't there. And so it just isn't talked about for that reason. I think it's just not, it just hasn't been, nobody's educated anybody on it. And that's where I feel like I'm hoping to come in, you know, and
yes,
look, like pay attention at least, you know, because look at your Fortune 500 companies, right? Why do people stay? I mean, they talk about it all the time. They have great benefits, you know, or they have great paid time off, or, you know what I mean? Like good, they take care of their people. And we just have to find some way, I feel like, in the salon industry to really start, I mean, not that salon owners don't care already, but just add added value, right? Just add extra value on that. And there's just, it's hard to do because you have to research, you know, unless you have somebody like me and I could do the research for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha.
Oh my gosh. I am so like, I'm so grateful that we connected because I'm gonna have you on my speed dial.
Yay!
I am like this is something that's so interesting because even for myself, like I was like as a salon owner, as a coach, I was talking to my business partner and I was like, you know, we should really look into this, you know, and not all salons offer. And I feel like it's just, for me anyway, it's a lot of information. So much, it's so much information for creative minds. It's like, and you're just like, I'll get to that later. And then later is like 5 years.
Yes, no, absolutely. Literally, I was in the salon the other day after a full day of insurance brain, right?
Yeah.
And the other way around. And I was in the salon, I was like, whew, man, okay. getting back into that creative, like my business brain has been going. It's kind of on fire,
Right,
so
right.
It's just two different worlds, and I have both somehow. I don't really know how that happened, but
It's
my
okay, me
business
too.
brain wants to be like blurting out information,
Yes.
I want to help. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited because that's what, at least for me, doing collabs like today, that's really why I started doing these collaborations on Instagram, because there are pros just like you who are not out there. We're not all like Paul Mitchell or Britt Siva or all of those people. And there are solutions if we just look. And so I'm so happy to connect, and hopefully we will be doing this again.
Yes.
And we will be getting the word out there. Yes. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Me too. Oh, thank you so much for taking the time. When we reached out, when we connected, not when we reached out, I can't talk, but when we connected, I was so excited. So I just appreciate doing this. I love all your stuff. I've watched, a lot of your things, and I'm grateful that there's someone out there helping other stylists. I love social media, that we can get out there and help people like that. So
yeah.
My thing is just think of, health insurance like car insurance. You got to have it. You just got to.
You have to. You have to. Rebecca, how can people get in touch with you for like a phone call, a chat? What do they need to bring?
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry. Okay, say that again. Sorry.
Okay. What do people need to, like, how do they contact you, and what do they need to bring to the call or whatever it is?
Actually, if you book on my Calendly link, I put everything in there for you. So there's just a few questions, and I can get you a quote. We can chat, whatever it is that you need. If you just want to talk about something, there's even a little, you can pick, kind of like services, I love setting that up, because this is like a haircut, this is like a color. So it'll explain. It kind of explains. It's not a whole lot of options. You got like 4, but anyway.
Okay.
So you can just jump on a call if you want to look for your business. There's a little business option. So just a few little informations, and then it'll gather what we need, and then we can go from there.
I love it. Thank you for making insurance fun.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Because I feel like that's what it is. People are like, health insurance, oh my God, no, and they run. So you make it fun. That's
Thank
good.
You. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just want people to know that it doesn't have to be hard. It can be simple. And it's just, you just got to talk about it. You just got to do it. And I'm here to help. So
I love it.
People. I just want to help. So as long as I'm just here to help, lead you in the right direction. And that's the main thing. So.
I love it. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining me today. We will definitely do this again. And if you're watching live or you're watching the replay, make sure to go follow her and schedule with her for that free call. Let's get insured. All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks again.